happy to say he's 75-year-old and he's free of diabetes. He's completely reversed his diabetes of 35 years. And society also normalizes saying that ಇವನು ಮುಂಗೋಪಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇವಳು ಮುಂಗೋಪಿ, ಇವರು ಊಟದಾಗಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗೇನೆ, ನೀನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ಮರ್ತ್ಬಿಡು, ಬಾ ಒಂದ್ ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರೋಣ ಅಥವಾ ಬಾ ಒಂದ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಅ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಶ್ಮಿ, ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ?
See, I think as per the researchers we are only using.
ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನೇನೋ ನಾವು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷ್ನಲ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರು ಸಜೆಷನ್ನಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಅಂಶಗಳು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಈ ಕೆಲವು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಫೀಲ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಲರ್ನ್ lot of things. So sit back, relax and enjoy this conversation. So namaste ellarigu. Ivattu ನಾನು ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಪಾಡ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಶ್ಮಿ ಅವರು. She is a clinical psychologist and having 25 plus years experience practicing psychotherapy for more than 15 years and also founder of Holistic Happy You, which is a women's only community. Adr jotege she has a goal of empowering almost 1 million plus people around the world. Also, she's having a bestseller book in Amazon, which is Holistic Happy You, and also 520 daily affirmations for Holistic Happy You. She's also a nutritionist, sound healer, family counselor, as well as a lot of things. So, ivattu adr bagge ella detail agi maatadana. Namaskara madam, hegidira?
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Very good to see you. And ivattu ನಾವು ನೆಲಮಂಗಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. This is a very interesting center, Holistic Happy You. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಡೋಣ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಹೌ ಡಿಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್?
ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಯಂಗ್. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು 19 ವರ್ಷ ಇರುವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಜರ್ನಿ ವಿತ್ ವೆಲ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ my dad was diagnosed with diabetes and I was just into the medical school then.
Okay.
So haga like being a doctor we always told them that diet important to you have to cut down on your sugar diet and then physical activity important. Okay. So we tried all that over the years, but then he couldn't balance or manage his diabetes well because his sugar level went on shooted up.
Okay.
And then adadmele avaru almost 100 units of insulin vargu he was on medication for almost 15-20 years.
Okay.
So he was only 40 then. I'm talking about way back of 25 years.
Long back, yeah.
Yeah. So our time alli 40 years alli diabetes was a not very normalized condition.
Yes, yes.
So he suffered for almost 35 years. And in that 35 years I also started understanding why that I'm not able to help him. And I took it very personally. Yakandre ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆಗೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. And being a doctor, I was not able to help him was really bothering me well. That because he was a very healthy person who had a great lifestyle, healthy habits. He was, I mean, to my understanding, he was all good. But then still, it was not helping him. Over the period of my research and curiosity, I started understanding how mind impacts our life.
Exactly.
So I think then I got into my own self-learning. I did my courses. I did my masters. Idella admele I started realizing there's something called stress, which is very little talked about. I understand because 25 years inde yargu stress ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ.
Actually ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. ಈ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
So it was not a norm at that point of time. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು 5 years ಮಗು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೇನೋ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಇದೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆ 25 years ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there was really nothing that people were aware of. So why my dad used to go through that experience was he had too many things in his plate and he was trying to manage too much, which was causing a lot of stress. Adrinda our diabetes was never under control.
Okay.
So when I started understanding and exploring that part of it, I started guiding him and then I started telling him how stress impacts and then how lifestyle modifications and right nutrition. Because ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಶುಗರ್ ತಿಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ತಿಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ your diabetes was supposed to be under control. But it is not so, right? So we understand you eat more simple carbs and you are more prone to having excess
ಹೌದು.
blood sugar.
Yes.
So ella understanding and I started implementing on him.
Yes.
And today I'm very proud and happy to say he's 75-year-old.
Wow.
And he's free of diabetes. He's completely reversed his diabetes of 35 years.
Fantastic.
And he's off of his insulin, he's off of his oral medications, and he's
Wow.
able to manage all of that.
That's-
And I think all thanks to the life experiences that I got.
Yes.
And of course, in the last years of my own experience, I have helped many more people who have been going through this. So I think to sum up all of this,
Yes.
I realized that there's a connection between your body, mind, and soul. So when I'm talking about soul, it is not that spirituality or nothing like that.
Correct.
How well I know myself.
Yeah. Knowing about your own self.
So, and then your mind is something that controls both of it. And when your body is only a reflection of your mind. So, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It's always easier to work inside out rather than outside in. Because ನಾನು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ನ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು I'm not disrespecting all of that.
Yes.
Of course. But then the easiest and shortcut path is approach your mind well, work on your thoughts, work on your beliefs. ಆವಾಗ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀರಾ. ಅದೇ ತರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೈಹಿಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳೇನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲೀಡ್ ಅ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಲೈಫ್. So that is why it is holistic happy.
Holistic happy. So this is very interesting point ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಇಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಈ ತರ ನೋಡಿ ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, who needs counseling?
I think that's a beautiful question, Abhishek. I don't know, when I say this, people joke about it because what my personal experience and what I have seen with my more than decades of experience is that each one of us need counseling because ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕು. I think that's the simple way I can put it across.
Yes.
ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಇರುವಾಗ ಅದು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಈಗ ದೇಹ ಇರೋರ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ರೋಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮನಸ್ಸು ಇರೋರ್ಗೆ ಹಾಗೆ ರೋಗನೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಹೂ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್.
ನಾನು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಟೀಮು ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ categories ಅಲ್ಲಿ counseling ಇರುತ್ತೆ, but ಅವರು being in that level also still they need counseling because there is something
they handle more stress than me and you.
Exactly.
Because the more at stake for you, there's more stress associated and there is more discipline that they need in life. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ burden ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ then then exchange is huge.
So how you get out of stress, that is also very crucial thing because ಈಗ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿ, ಈಗ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮನೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ 9 to 5 ಜಾಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. all these kind of problems people face in a general this thing. So what do you think, how can they handle that better? What are certain things you feel stress na hege handle ಮಾಡೋದು?
The only reason society is suffering is because we are all looking for a shortcut.
ಅದೇ ನಾವು ಇದು ಒಂದು ನಿಂಬೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ಹಾಕಿ ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಕುಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾವು ವೇಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
absolutely
ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
So I mean we are actually seeking all the shortcuts because there's not really no shortcut, and however people are making money giving you shortcuts.
ಈಗ ರೀಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದೇ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದಾಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೆಲ್ದಿ ಇರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು.
So if money could buy you health or peace of mind, I'm sure world's richest person would have a hair on his head, and have the six pack, and would sleep well.
Yes, that is very important point you mentioned, that sleep. ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ, ನಾನು in that category I come, I don't get proper sleep. So what are the things which add up to all these problems or stress?
So I'll tell you, to sum up all of this, I would say your good mental health is an outcome of lot of small habits that you have developed. Okay? It is not one thing that is going to give you peace of mind.
Okay.
Right? Because see, we are not one dimension.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We are multidimensional as a human being.
As a human being, you have so many things to do. Yeah.
ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿದೆ, ನನಗೆ ದೇಹ ಇದೆ, ನನಗೆ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಇದೆ.
Yes.
And then I also
ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇವ್ರು. That was very interesting, no? It got very viral.
Yeah. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ದ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಲೋ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ರೀಸನ್, ಏನೋ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಅ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಬರ್ಡನ್. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ಅ ಲೋ ಫೇಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಆವಾಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್. ದಟ್ ನನ್ಗೀಗ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ವಿ ಲುಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಫುಡ್ ತಿಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಫೀಲ್ ಗುಡ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದ್ 4 ದಿನ ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಗುಡ್. ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ಗೆ ಇದೇನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಕಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಇಟ್.
ಅದೇ ಕೆಲವು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು 2-3 ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಬಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕುಡಿಯೋದು, ಈ ತರ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಇದೆ.
Absolutely.
ಸೊ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ವೈ ಡು ವಿ ಗೋ ಟು ದೋಸ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕಟ್ಸ್?
So because that is where the publicity is, right?
ಜನಗೆ ಅದೇ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಗ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಬಾ ನನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಾಗತ್ತೆ ಆ ತರ ಹೇಳಿ,
you will forget it, no?
ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇನು ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ.
There is very little awareness of mental health. So people also, when you ನಾವು ಯಾರಿಗಾರು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಂಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಂಗೆ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನಂಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಅವಾಗ ನನ್ಗೆ ಲೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ಮರ್ತ್ಬಿಡು, ಬಾ ಒಂದ್ ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರೋಣ, ಅಥವಾ ಬಾ ಒಂದ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಅಥವಾ ಬಾ ಇದೇನೋ ಮಾಡು. So then you will feel better ಅಂತ. So it is exactly what I have.
But that is very temporary ಅಲ್ಲ?
Of course. So ಅದನ್ನ ನನಗೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕವರು ಇರುವಾಗಿಂದ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌದು. Okay. See, if you go to a 5-year-old child and ask him or her, ನೀನ್ ಬಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀಯ? ಹೌದು. They say, ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ, ಡೆಟಾಲ್ ಹಾಕೋತೀನಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಹಾಕೋತೀನಿ. Everybody, however young that is, like 3 ವರ್ಷ, 4 ವರ್ಷ, 5 ವರ್ಷ, 50 year also they will tell. Yes. ಆದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ you have some issue with your mind. ಹೌದು. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಸೊ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಹಂಗೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮೀಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ಆರ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ. So what I'm trying to convey here is we don't know how to manage my mind. Yes. Because it's not that I'm trying to blame anybody here. Adre namagu gottilla. So here there's a lack of awareness, lack of skill. So ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿರೋದಲ್ವಾ? ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ನಿಜ. ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಸಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಅ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಟು ಅ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸಿಂಗ್ reaching a point where you have a mental health disease.
It is just like a preliminary thing, what is going on. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಹೌದು. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಜಿಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫ್ಯಾಡ್, ನೋ? ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಗೋಸ್. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಜಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಡು ವಿ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ದೆಮ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಇವ್ನು ಜಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇವ್ರು ಜಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಓ ಇವರು ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ when someone comes to a counselor ಇದರಿಂದ
ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ,
ಇವನಿಗೆ ತಲೆ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇವಳಿಗೆ ತಲೆ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ,
ಆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಬು ಇದೆ.
ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಈಗ ಮುಂಚೆ 20-30 ವರ್ಷ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಜಿಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೋರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವುಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ talk about you same that. ಹೌದು ಹೌದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು 20-30 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಬರಕ್ಕೆ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಹೌದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, ಚೇಂಜಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್. ಮನೇಲಿ ಈಗ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದೇ ಹೈಡ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು?
So I'll answer all together in one simple way, so that everybody gets an answer because
Yes.
stress is there everywhere. As I shared in the beginning, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನ್ಸಿರೋರ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ.
ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ.
Because it is like, you know, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ ಇದೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅದೇ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುಯಲ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುಯಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. So what happens, ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆನೆ. So I will try to figure out on my own. I Google it, I talk to people, I reach out to friends, but still I don't know exactly what
we are just trying to understand whether this is okay, we'll work this way.
We are doing trial and error
ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
But ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ, 2 ಸತಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ 3ನೇ ಸತಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿ, ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ, ನನ್ನ ಹಣೆ ಬರ ಇಷ್ಟೇ.
ಅದೇ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ ನನ್ಗೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಅದ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆತರ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸರ್ ನನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಲೈಫೇ ಈ ತರ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡೋದು.
So that is all because now my mind believes what I tell it. So that's the reason I wrote that 520 affirmations for daily affirmations for holistic happiness, because we can fine tune, rewire our mind, which has unlimited potential. ಈಗ when it comes to body, ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. How much ever you go to gym, build muscle, train ಆದ್ರೇನು, you have a certain, you cannot go beyond 1000 kgs. Let's take an example. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ I may not be able to lift more than 100 kg. But when it comes to mind, it has immense ability and power. Only thing is we don't know how to use it because we are not tried, we don't have a manual.
Dr. Rashmi, ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ?
See, I think as per the researchers, we are only using, I'm taking an upper limit, 10% of it in our daily life.
Oh my god, so ಇನ್ನು 90% ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ,
because we are not using it.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇದೆ.
So that is the potential. See, highest of best performers,
athletes ಇರಬಹುದು, ವಿರಾಟ್ ಕೊಹ್ಲಿ is my favorite.
So ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? I think 30 to 50.
Wow.
So just imagine another 50% is still unexplored.
So basically, and we are not at all thinking about this, we are thinking of outside world, outside
so
things.
ನಾನು ಮಸಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ನಾನು weight ಎಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತಬಹುದು,
ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನನಗೆ ಜನ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ, ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್.
We are looking for external validation.
Correct.
So when we are in the process of ನನ್ನ ಕಾರು ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಡೈಲಿ ಉಜ್ಜಿ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ,
ಬಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಂಜಿನ್
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ನಾನು ಗಾಡಿ ಆನೇ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಆನ್ ಮೈ ಲೈಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ haven't learned the skill.
ಹೌದು.
So our body is like that parked car which has so much horsepower of engine, which has so much potential to drive. I can go for a road trip for miles of
exactly.
So nam life anintiro car tara ide because I'm not even starting my engine of mind.
Exactly. So ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ what are the things we should inculcate in their life, mental health?
Here we have to educate them to understand that mental health is as equally important as your physical health. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾವ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ, ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ ಮಲ್ಗಿ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಎದೋಳಿ, ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ, ನಿನ್ನ ಮೈಂಡ್ಗೂ, ಈಗ ನಾವು ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. We don't even know. When people come for a counseling, they wouldn't have cleansed themselves for 30 plus years. Just imagine.
Even so just me imagine, for that matter,
so just imagine how long, how much accumulation has happened, how much emotional cluttering.
ಹೌದು. So
I think
this we never think about actually. So what do you think is lacking, or why are we not looking at that part of our mindset? Because now bari academics ಅಲ್ಲಿ first ಬರಬೇಕು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, but why are we not looking? Is that not thought, or is it like default ಆಗಿ ಈ ತರ ಇರಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ?
So actually what happens, I think we have to bring mental health awareness into the school curriculum.
I think where it starts is from the education.
Yeah, I'm happy and glad to say that current younger generation is more comfortable approaching me rather than their own parents. Because,
is it?
Yeah, of course. So many teenagers, so many adults reach out to me for booking my sessions.
So maybe you kind of understand them from their point of view.
Absolutely. So they feel that madam ನಾನು ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ಗೇನ್ ತಲೆ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ನಿನಗೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ನಾನ್ ಹೇಳ್ದವ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. That is a thought process that happens.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಏಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ದಟ್?
Here again I'll go back to that car and engine because we are not trained to manage our relationships.
ಹೌದು.
So see, I'll tell you a simple example. Iga being a doctor, I was trained for 23 years to be a doctor.
ಹೌದು, ನಿಜ.
Now I may practice my medicine or no.
Correct.
But then I'm for sure going to get married. I'm sure going to have kids.
Yes.
I'm sure going to have a partner.
Yes.
I'm sure going to manage a big family.
Yes.
So what qualification do I have to manage all of that?
ಥಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
So there's always an expectation from you.
Expectation irutte family inda.
So and then when you also ask your parents about these questions, they'll say neenu madve admele ninge gottagate, neenu tayi admele ninge gottagate,
ellarigu ade gottirutte,
neenu husband admele ninge gottagate. So everybody pushes you to go through that transition without any guidance, without any training.
It says it's like automatically banbidutte aa tara ansutte.
But then do you you are a family person.
But still I feel adu aa stage alli bandadmele we realize a lot of things, but still we don't know what is right, what is wrong, or maybe how we should go about it.
So we start experimenting then.
Experiment ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
So then obviously your relationship is going to fail because I am not trained to manage my relationship.
Correct.
Worst part is I am not even trained to train my own self. And I don't even know who I am. I personally didn't know who I am after becoming a doctor, being a psychologist. It took a journey for my own self to understand who I am, because we all become what people want us to become.
People expectation inda ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದು ಕೆಲಸ.
So ಈಗ okay, Rashmi andre ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸ್ಮೈಲಿಂಗ್, then I become that without me realizing it.
Correct.
So ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ Rashmi is always smiling girl who cannot get angry, who cannot get upset.
ಹೌದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
So Rashmi ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿ ಅವಳನ್ನ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ she will never say no. So then what happens? I become that. But then because of that I am creating my own emotional trauma because I may not have the bandwidth to do everything for everybody.
ಸರ್, ಕೆಲವು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನನ್ಗೂ ಸಹ. ಬಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಅದು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ನೋ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್,
Absolutely. Again, because as a society we make people feel guilty to say no. ನೀನ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದು, ನಿನ್ನ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದು, ನಿನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೀಕ್ ದಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ನಾನ್ ನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರು ನನ್ನನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನ್ ನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇನೋ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಡಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್.
ಸೊ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ದು ನಾನು ನೋ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, ದಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ. And then finally something happens and they are very much hurt.
Because you have bottled up so much emotion by forcing yourself to do something which you are truly not. So we all have these two lives. I'm saying this in the media so that people get to understand. So we are all living two lives. One is what I truly want to live. One is truly I don't want to live.
Correct.
So now the closer the gap between these two, I'm going to be more peaceful, I'm going to sleep well, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to stay healthy.
Yes.
Okay. But then we all have a huge gap and there's a bridge to build between these two. Okay. So we lose that difference. So that is, one is reality, the other one is facade that I've been living. So the more I live this facade life, there's more anxiety, there's more stress, there's more health issues, there's more complexities because I have bottled up a lot more emotion.
So that
which I'm
starts becoming a disease inside our body.
Absolutely.
Problems which
because
we don't understand.
It's like this, people always get triggered. Many times we know why we get triggered. Many people are clueless that they're getting triggered. And society also normalizes saying that, ಇವನು ಮುಂಗೋಪಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇವಳು ಮುಂಗೋಪಿ, ಇವರು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗೇನೆ.
ಅದೇ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ.
So then, see, because we have normalized it, people think that, I am given an authority to be this.
We take it for granted that that's how I am.
So we are not bringing that awareness to them that you can become a different person. You can become a calmer version of your own self. Because you have to work through the underlying triggers.
So adana we have to understand.
So that awareness comes when you come to a counseling.
So counseling alli you cover all these things what might be hidden inside.
Absolutely.
But you don't get to know that as a person.
They are not aware. So ನನಗೆ ಆವಾಗ ಕೋಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ madam.
ಹೌದು.
But then that is only a symptom that you're talking about. But you come sit in my cabin, you will go on forever talking because there's so much of childhood trauma. Maybe growing up, ಈಗ let's take an example. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ and I also have siblings. So ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆನೋ ತಾಯಿನೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಅಣ್ಣನೋ ನಿನ್ನ ತಂಗಿನೋ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀನೇನ್ ಯೂಸ್ಲೆಸ್, ನೀನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸುಖ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀನ್ ಇದನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ನೀನ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನ್ ಕಪ್ಪಗಿದ್ಯಾ, ನೀನ್ ದಪ್ಪ ಇದೆಯಾ. I mean there can be anything for that matter. As simple as that can impact your mental well-being in an as young as a 4-year, 5-year-old child. Okay, so now we are all living in an adult body with a 4-year, 5-year-old child in us. So that is where trauma healing happens. Because I have to heal that trauma within me.
So that you go back so much and understand what is the root cause, and then from there you bring us back. Okay, so that happens in counseling.
Absolutely. That is where holistic approach comes. Otherwise, I will give them strategies to say that ನೀವು ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೋಪ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ನೀರು ಕುಡೀರಿ. I can give you.
But ಅದು impactful ಇರಲ್ಲ.
Because in the long run, you will keep coming back to me. But then the root cause is that someone has hurt you this way, as young as that. So every time in your life, someone says that you are not good enough or you didn't do this job well. So then that person automatically gets triggered. So now the person themselves will not be aware of it because it's more in a subconscious mind. So avaga enagutte, they are fighting the symptoms rather than understanding the root cause.
With the same point, I want to understand people have the suicidal tendencies. ಆ ಥರ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಅವರು ದೇ ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ರಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ಇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಡು? ವಾಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಯು ಸೇ, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್?
Okay. So I think when I started practicing counseling, the clients that come to me was only after they have attempted the suicidal. Okay, because that time counseling, I mean I'm talking about way back in early late 90s and all that.
Yes.
So ಯಾಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, this is again coming from the lack of awareness and lack of understanding.
Yes.
And in my experience, every person who has attempted suicide would have told 100 people that I'm not feeling good.
Exactly. How do you identify that?
Because they keep talking about it. Only thing is, we being family members or friends of that people, we will only look for a shortcut. Ba one drink hog barana, ba one trip hog barana. In yaake ishtu sensitive idya? This is something that they always say. Neen ishtu sensitive idya? So we actually ignore all those sharings, talking of that person. Then that person feels like I'm helpless. I don't see any hope in my life.
And it's so sad sometimes, when you have your own friends whom you lose because of this kind of a problem, and then their family goes through a lot of trauma. That also is another thing to look at. So the basic things, what can be, obviously the counseling is one thing, but how do you understand in like a person's life, if someone is going through something like that, can we identify those points and then can we tell him to, okay, come here?
So what you can see is, simple thing that you can see is that ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಚಿಟ್ ಚಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಷ್ಟ. but then I stopped enjoying what I used to enjoy doing it.
Okay, which you used to enjoy, now you're not
Now
enjoying
you
it.
don't. So ಆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕರೆದ್ರೇನು ಅವ್ರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದು ಮಾತಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು.
They want to keep isolating themselves most of the time. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೋನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, and then they are also not sleeping well, and they are not taking in their food, which I mean I'm not saying ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, but then from their normal self, what is the deviation that has happened?
So they become very quiet and they get outside. I mean, they don't want to interact with people.
And then they don't want to come talk to people because there's something that is bothering them, and then they stop trusting people because they would have screamed from the top of the roof saying that I'm not feeling good, but everybody would have shut him out, saying that illa neen sumne sensitive.
That's very sad. So yeah, so those are the points which you can see, and then you can say that okay, there's something going on, let's go
and if when it comes to children, I mean adults irbodu, children irbodu, they avoid going to office, they avoid going to school, they'll find reasons saying that nangote sari illa, tale novta ide. And I've had like I had this case where he's around 40 plus. He's a headmaster in a school. Now he was transferred from his place to some far off village. He had only couple of years to work in that place. So now when he's transferred there, he started having bad gut. So he would always have stomach pain in the stomach, or irritable bowel syndrome we say, and then he would always have loose motion, indigestion.
So the problems are actually manifesting inside body as a disease.
Okay. I've also had cases where they're not enjoying, because there's always a what do you say, toxic environment around you. Let's say you're going to work and you are not comfortable the way people are treating you, or you're in a house and then your family members are not treating you well. So then I have seen these skin allergies, or skin patches, or much deeper.
This can also be a part of
absolutely. It is sourcing from the mind
to the body.
You're getting sensitive to people around you. So people are getting under your skin.
Exactly.
So then skin gets affected, but then we are trying to apply cream,
medication and all that. But that is not the actual problem. It might be something different.
I mean, that does help treating your symptoms, but then you also parallelly have to address the root cause. See, I'm not saying that medicines doesn't help. Of course, they are a great boon. But then medicines are supposed to be used as an emergency drug.
Not as a lifestyle drug.
So we get a relief from the symptom, we forget what needs to be taken care by me. We leave our own responsibility of managing our health.
Yes. So, and another thing, ma'am, during for ladies, especially during pregnancy, they go through a lot of problems, a lot of stress. How do you handle that? What would you suggest?
Being a woman, we're all juggling with a lot of responsibility. No respect for men, because you also do it. However, the support we get from the hormones is much higher than what men get. Because we have better hormonal system built into our system, because we have something called menstrual cycle, which comes every month, which helps us cleanse ourselves and let go the emotions. And that really helps us stay sane for certain age.
Correct, you're right.
So when we are going through irregular periods, like PCOD, PCOS, so that is actually rooted at the poor mental health, because I'm dealing with lot of things, but I don't know how to manage it, and it is reflecting on your menstrual well-being. So if a lady's menstrual health is not healthy, then there's something that is bothering them for sure. I can watch on it, because I've seen people recover out of it. So when you are not managing your menstrual health well, obviously when you're conceiving, there is more chemical cocktail havoc that happens. So then you're signing up for something more worse when you haven't dealt with what you have.
So basically it adds up to all that, and then finally pregnancy
So when pregnancy happens, you are constantly going through stress, and because of your variation in the progesterone, estrogen, and all the other chemicals I don't want to talk about. So then what happens? You are having a lot of mood swings. Okay. And does it stop after that? No. After delivery, again you have something called postpartum depression again, because there is already a havoc by having a PCOS or PCOD. Now you conceived by whatever injection or IVF, whatever method. I mean, it's good. You still took an opportunity. But then you still miss the root cause. Now you move on to something called postpartum depression. Where you are isolated, because see, when you are pregnant, all the attention is on you, so you enjoy that attention. So the minute baby is delivered, your attention shifts to the baby. So nobody cares what you're doing, how you're feeling. And then most of the time pregnancy, that early stages of your delivery and all, you end up doing it isolated, because there's no support system. We are no longer in a joint family. You're only husband and wife and a newborn baby. So there's a lot more that adds up to already what is in your kitty. Then you don't know when it started, where it started. So that is when counselors can pitch in and help you to streamline and start at some place. Because
it's always good to come to a counselor and understand what a person is going through. At the same time, if you're going to take a major decision in your life, for example marriage, or getting into a particular job or whatever, maybe, because that actually setting a tone for you in the future. Andre ಆ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಇಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ.
ಖಂಡಿತ.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗೋದು ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೆಟರ್.
ಹೌದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ನಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೊ ನಾನು ಈ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ಸೇರ್ತೀನಿ.
ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಖಂಡಿತ. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ not only your actions, the intention behind that action is also equally important, which none of us have a clue. ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಆ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, am I enjoying that job or am I just looking
enjoying part ಅಂತೂ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸಿಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾನು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಫರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದು ಒಂದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಗುಡ್. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ maybe there's a better opportunity.
So because that way when you know your own self, ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ನಾನೇ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಈ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹೈಕ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, we all sign up, right?
Yes.
ಆದ್ರೆ that becomes your trigger for lifetime, as you rightly pointed out. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋವರೆಗೂ I have signed up to be in a stress.
ಹೌದು.
But how do I manage that stress? I come home, scream at people around. ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಳು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನನ್ನ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಯಾರು ನನಗೆ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ.
So but then nobody told you to sign up for the job other than you yourself.
Yes, exactly. So the other question what I have is what are the reasons people get disappointed? ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ತುಂಬಾ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಡಿಸಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಓಕೆ. ಅದ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವು ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ should I tell him or not, but sometimes if you tell some people, they how much ever you tell they don't understand.
Okay. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿಸ್.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕೆಲವು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ವೆರಿ ರಾಂಗ್ಲಿ. ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದೇ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು strike a deal?
Okay, I think I'll take a step back and then tell you how our mental health is affected. Like, it's also based on what kind of genes I have, and it is also the environment that I live in. It's also the support system that I have around me, and it's also what kind of nutrition I take in. I think the only reason why I did all of this is because I wanted to figure out anything and everything. It
should be a holistic way of looking at it. Yes.
Because I didn't want to miss out anything. Because when your gut health is poor, your mental health is affected.
Because that's our second brain, na?
That's a first brain. First brain. Yeah. So the gut is a first brain. But we don't even realize that I have to manage my gut.
ಹೌದು
ಅಲ್ವಾ? So and then how you think
Yes.
is also going to
Hmm.
impact your mind.
Mind.
And what kind of a support system. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಕೆಳಗ್ ಬಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ 10 ಜನ ಎತ್ತವ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವ್ರೇನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡು,
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
we are all here to support you ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Yes.
there's a better
Yes, yes.
positive mindset.
Positive mindset, yes,
Ha.
yes.
So, and then you're genetically born with certain more sensitivity towards emotions because you're more prone to understand empathy better.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, but then it's not about the gender. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. No. It's also what genetic framework that you have come out with.
So it depends on person to person how their genes is, and based on that they might have a kind of a thought process. Yeah.
So there's a lot of impacts.
So ಇದು ಒಂದಿದೆ. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಈಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡೈಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಫಾರ್ ದೇರ್ ಗುಡ್ ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್. So I hope you like this conversation, and in the next episode you will have a lot more things. So adana kandita have a look. Dr. Rashmi, our details ella ನಾನು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀನಿ. You can get in touch with her because it's really very important. ಯಾವ ತರ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು to make sure that you actually go progress and grow mentally as well as in your life. Wherever you want to achieve a lot of things, you need a counselor. So that's very important. So take a professional help and subscribe to our channel Namaste Nelamangla, and I'll see you soon in the next episode. Thank you.